Now, let us try to understand how to solve overfitting. So the very first idea which comes to the mind is we can increase the data set. If we increase the data set, then the model will have seen all possible samples. So it will not, so even if the testing sample, we provided some testing data set, it will be very close to the training data set. Hence the model will perform good. So the solution to solve overfitting is very simple, increase the data set. And there is a meme over here, like Google, what it usually does is it takes out the machine, it publicly makes it available, the machine learning code. But to train the model, you need a lot of training samples. Otherwise, your model will easily overfit. So data set is required, but there is a downside as well. Google and big corporations can take out such large data sets, but usually it's not very easy to find out new data sets. So it's a very costly to increase the data set. So what is the next solution? Is there another way in which we can solve overfitting? So let us try to understand from the previous example which we were looking at. So these were the graphs at degree of the polynomial m equal to 0, m equal to 1, m equal to 3 and m equal to 9. Let us try to understand the coefficient of the polynomials which represent the red curve. When m is equal to 0, the coefficient or the constant value is equal to 0.19. When m equal to 1, we'll have two variables, y equal to mx plus c. So m is minus 1.27 and c is 0.82. Similarly, for m equal to 6, we have such values, and for m equal to 9, these are the corresponding coefficients of the 9-degree polynomial. You can see that as we keep on increasing the value of m, the value of the coefficients also keeps on increasing. Now that is very interesting because usually our models need to converge to a low level polynomial. Even though the training loss is not minimized at lower degree polynomials, the testing loss will be small when we use lower degree polynomials instead of higher degree polynomials. Pay attention, this is not always true. It can happen that our large degree polynomial is actually the correct answer and represents the correct distribution, but usually in real life, in all the types of problems we solve, the answer is usually a low degree polynomial. So how do we push our model to converge to lower degree polynomials instead of the higher degree polynomials? It's actually easy to do, and it's called L1 or L2 regularization. So as I told you over here, the value of the weights increases as we keep on increasing the degree of the polynomial. So what it means is that if we ensure that the neural network or the polynomial has coefficients which are very small, then automatically the model will converge to a low degree polynomial. And to do that is very simple. This is our cost function. The first term is the sigmoid plus cross entropy loss term, which is the standard cost function. We add another term over here, which is the sum of the squared weights. So if the weights are large, then the cost function becomes very large. Hence, if the neural network optimizes the following cost, it will have to keep the weights to be very small. Hence, the model will automatically converge to lower degree polynomials, which will avoid overfitting. So this is the method, one method which is used to reduce overfitting. When you use squared error, it is called L2 regularization. But If you use the mod of W, then it's called N1 regularization. So let's move on. Are there any other ways to solve overfitting? Yes, there are, and it is called dropouts. What it means is that, let's say we have the image of a dog, and our neural network has to predict or classify that this is a dog. Let's say there are only two classes, a dog and a cat. What the model can do is that it can start focusing on just the ear in the entire image. So cat and dog ears are very distinctive. If you just have a look at the ear, you will be able to say with a very high confidence that whether it's a dog or a cat. Okay, so what the model will do is it will ignore all other features of the image and just look at the ears and predict or classify whether it's a dog or a cat. This can happen, and it is a problem because it can happen in the testing dataset that there is a cat which does not have an ear, or there is a cat which has an ear which looks like a dog. As a human, even though the ear of the cat looks very similar to that of a dog, you will never say that the cat is a dog because it looks very different. The entire cat looks very different to the dog. So the problem is that the neural network will start focusing on very small parts of the image to classify whether it's a cat or a dog. To ensure that this does not happen, what we can do is we can randomly mask out some of the parts of the image. So this green portion is where the dog actually is in the image. We randomly mask out some of the output of the neural network so that sometimes the ear information is lost. So the model, it has to still predict the output correctly. So it might look at the features of the eye, of the nose, of the mouth, and so on to be able to predict whether it's a dog or a cat. Hence, the model will generalize better as well. So, this is how the training happens. In a standard neural network, every neuron is connected to the next neuron. But after applying dropouts, some of the neurons are removed or made the value 0. Hence, the model has to yet predict the correct class, and to do that, it has to look at different parts of the image. This can reduce overfitting because it generalizes the model, and the model sees a lot of different kinds of data during the training itself. So dropouts are another way to solve overfitting. Next, and the most important way to solve overfitting is data augmentation. What it means is that you can artificially increase the size of your dataset without the need to create new datasets. How do we artificially create new datasets? Some of the methods I have outlined over here. The first is channel shuffle. So you can see the top right image over here. In this, we have interchanged the red, green, and the blue channel. What happens is that the image looks like this. Even though the image is not looking natural, you can easily say by looking that it's a parrot. So what it means is that even though the channel has shuffled, the task of the neural network is still doable. Hence, by changing the channel, we can create 6 different combinations and our dataset size increases by 6 times. Then you can change the contrast of the image, the gamma, the brightness. You can do apply all kinds of filters like blur filter, median filter. You can convert it into grayscale to keep on increasing the size of your dataset. So even though the image is blurred, we can say that it's a parrot. And By providing the neural network with blurred images during training, if a new image comes during testing which is blurred, the neural network will be able to classify the testing datasets as well. Hence, overfitting is reduced. Some other ways to reduce overfitting are by data augmentation itself, but these are some other methods. So you can change the translation. So you can translate your images, and that also creates new dataset, because for a neural network, the value of the pixel has changed. Over here it's white, but over here it's gray. Hence it's a new dataset. So you can train your model to be translation invariant. You can rotate your objects by certain degree. You can change the size of your objects. You can make it small and large, and that's also a new dataset. You can also change the illumination of your images. So these are some other ways in which you can further increase your dataset artificially. One last method to artificially increase your dataset is elastic distortion. This is a very specific kind of data augmentation and is usually very good for medical datasets. In medical datasets, we have the images of tissues, and the cells in the tissues get deformed easily by the different water molecules which are available in the tissue. So there is a algorithm which is able to simulate the same deformation as water does because of surface tension in the tissues, and that's called elastic distortion. So there can be many different ways to augment your data for your specific data set, and you can implement it to reduce overfitting. So even if you have 100 images, by data augmentation, you can make it lakhs of images, which will help train the model better. So these are the ways to reduce overfitting.